Jakks, the company known for making merchandise based off of the Sonic the Hedgehog IP. In today's video, I'm going to be going over as a guide to every single piece of merchandise, every form, every style that Jakks has made. So if you think you know your Jakks, you don't, because there's a lot of things you might have forgotten. Starting off with the ones you guys know the most, the 4-inch Sonic action figure line. This series has 22 waves, and each wave is bundled with 4 action figures. Said action figures are each sold separately. Some of the times the waves can be completely modern Sonic or completely classic Sonic, or it could be a mix. Although it seems like their classic and modern wave are completely different, as they're totally different scales and won't even match up with each other. This line has been running for approximately 6 years now. Also, the 4-inch line is sometimes bundled in 3 packs, or 2 packs like these. The 2 packs are only found online, the 3 packs are mostly found in store. Also, each figure comes with an accessory, which could be hard during collecting because most of these accessories come with a character that you probably already own. Like how they decide to put a perfectly scaled Chaos Emerald with Sonic in the 35th anniversary line. And before I forget, there's another 4-inch line being the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie line. This line consists of 2 waves and 1 4-inch 3-pack, as well as 1 4-inch 2-pack as well, that can only be found online as I mentioned. Now it's time for the 2.5-inch figure. The 2.5-inch figures are similar to the 4-inch line, classic and modern, except each wave is bundled with 5 instead of 4. These 2.5-inch figures can be found in many forms of packaging: the box, the bubble cart, and this display one. I don't know how to say it. It was like the checkout lane ones. And also Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 got figures for it in the 2.5-inch scale. And how can I forget the packs for Sonic Prime that are the elite shelf warmer in stores? Next, it's time for the 5-inch figures. For 5-inch, we have 3 kinds of series: Sonic Movie, DC, and Sonic Prime. Sonic Movie 3 consists of 4 waves, that wave 4 being re-releases. That's how they wanted to wrap up the wave, I guess. The DC X Sonic one is the most recent, only 1 wave so far, as well as a pack. And the Sonic Prime series, that I believe has 5 waves. Now it's time for the light-ups. For the light-up figures, we have the Super Sonic and Super Shadow light-up pack for Sonic 3, the Sonic Movie 3 4-pack, which has a light-up Sonic and Shadow, and the DC X Sonic 4-pack, which includes a light-up Batman Shadow. Now it's time for the miscellaneous. Starting off, we have these little figurines in the ball. These were used in one of Jakks' early playsets, the ones that roll through a loop-de-loop. Last time I recall seeing these was a while ago. I remember last year they're in this blind bag pack, but that's pretty much it for those guys. Now it's time for the Go-Go Racers, which Jakks pretty much just dropped without its note. They're these sets of little, and I quote, cars that go on their tracks that can, I guess, race. I don't know why they made these really. There's no point in them. I guess for more collection space. As for how many waves, I don't even know because no one's even tracking how many waves these things even get. Now it's time for the little die-cast cars. These little die-cast cars either come in single packs or packs of 3. And they also came in this playset for Team Sonic Racing Crossworld. Now it's time for the 2.5-inch cars. These ones are also made for Team Sonic Racing Crossworld. These ones can be taken apart, mixed and matched. The only characters that were made were Sonic and Shadow. Now it's time for the RC cars. First, they made the Sonic Movie 2 Speed RC, and then they pretty much ripped it off by releasing one for Sonic in general. And then they made an RC of Sonic and his Speedster for Sonic Racing Crossroads, which released pretty recently. That's it for all the RC stuff. Now it's time for the light-up. Jakks released a light-up Super Sonic and Super Shadow 2-pack for Sonic the Hedgehog 3, as well as a 4-pack containing Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Shadow and Sonic both being light-up. Lastly, they made a DC X Sonic 4-pack, which has no significance except for the fact that Shadow's stomach lights up. For toys that make sounds, we have the large 12-inch Movie Sonic plushie released for Sonic 1 that talks, and then for Sonic Movie 3, we had the 12-inch Ultimate Talking Sonic figure that lighted up and makes sounds. And as for blind bags, recently we got a DC X Sonic 2.5-inch figure, blind bags, and then for the mainline series, specifically the classic series, we got these little ball figurine packs, which I don't believe you can find this anymore. Also, I forgot to mention they're the DCX Sonic 2 packs. Now it's time for the plushies. The plushies. Jakks Pacific released ones for Modern Sonic, Classic Sonic, and the Sonic movies. There was at least 4 to 7 waves of the modern plushies, which includes the classic characters too. This line has been running for approximately 6 years now, and it is still going. For Sonic Movie 2, only 1 wave of plushies got released, which had 3 characters in total. And for Sonic 3, 1 wave was also released, Shadow being the only new character. Now it's time for the bigger deluxe plushie. As I mentioned earlier, they made a 12-inch talking Sonic from the Sonic movies. They made a deluxe Sonic for Sonic 2, and then it was released for Sonic 3. They also made a deluxe movie Shadow. And then they released an even larger Sonic and Shadow, which are GameStop and Macy's exclusives. For mainline, Jakks Pacific made a Jumbo Classic Sonic, a Jumbo Tails, a Jumbo Knuckles, a Jumbo Super Sonic, as well as a comic Classic Sonic and a comic Knuckles. Now it's time for the playsets. For playsets, we got a Sonic Green Hill playset for the 2.5 inch scale, of course. And then for Sonic 2, we got the Tails Tornado set, and then the Death Egg Robot set. We also got the Sonic 2 Death Egg Robot, once again for the 2.5 inch figures. And then later last year, we got an actual tornado. And then for Sonic Movie 3, we got the Crab Mecha Battle playset. And then for Sonic Prime, we got the Angel's Voyage ship. Also, lastly, for the first Sonic movie, we got the Sonic movie Spin Dash playset that had the old Sonic movie design. We got this baby Sonic plushie, as well as the talking Sonic plushie I talked about earlier. And yeah, that's really it for today's video. That was probably the longest video I've ever made, and the most hardest one, as I went over literally every single Jakks thing. But I hope you learned something new from this video, and if you enjoyed it, subscribe, please.